A University of Washington professor is stepping far outside the classroom to tackle one of the country's most urgent crises, addiction. In a powerful new documentary, he connects stories from a California family to a Virginia jail, revealing what recovery really looks like and why empathy is key. Ahead of a special premiere in Seattle this week, filmmaker and UW Marketing Department Chair Jeff Schulman joins me now. Hello, Jeff.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Such an important topic, so I want to get right into it, because how do you go from being a marketing professor to making a documentary about this topic?
Yeah, so I work at the University of Washington, the Foster School of Business, and our purpose is to better humanity through business. And so humanity is really struggling when it comes to addiction. So that's kind of the macro piece of it, the professor. But on the personal level, I always try to get through this without crying, so I might just go like straight real fast.
I'm a big crier, so it's okay. We'll both be with each other on that.
So on a personal level, somebody I care about has fairly confident struggles with addiction, and seen from the life of the party to,
Like rock bottom.
Oh, not there yet.
Not there yet.
And hoping that we could stop before that happens. And so this movie is my love letter to that person. My hope is that the person I care about will realize it's time to change. But if that doesn't happen, then I hope other people don't have to go through what that person's going through and what we go through watching this.
Absolutely. And you always hope that people don't have a connection to recovery, but the sad thing is most of us do. And so I think this is a love letter to a lot of loved ones out there that are dealing with that. And so thank you so much for your hard work on this important topic. And explain your approach toward making What It Takes.
So I want to show, there's one purpose behind this, is to show people recovery is possible. And not only is recovery possible, but that it's worth fighting for. Fighting for yourself, fighting for the people that you love, and fighting for your community, because we here in Seattle see it every day. And so that's the purpose. And I was lucky enough to meet somebody who's overcome alcoholism. He was at his lowest, wanted to kill himself, and through the strength and grace of others, he found the will to do better. Similarly, then, there's another story in Chesterfield County, Virginia, where a sheriff said, enough is enough. He's seeing this endless cycle of addiction and incarceration, and he decided to make a plan to change that, to end that cycle.
And how did you find these subjects, though? Because these are incredible stories that you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's two moments that you'll have to see the film to get to know what they are, but there's two moments that connect this wealthy family in California to this jail in Virginia. And the first moment was, I was at a concert, and the artist, who I don't want to name, but sang a song dedicated to the person who was right behind me, celebrating his recovery from alcoholism.
Wow.
And so I turned to him and I said, hey, I was planning on doing a movie about this. Will you be in this? And he said yes, and so the rest is history.
You put people, I don't know if you believe this, but the universe has a weird way of putting the right people right next to you, literally, for good. And so you mentioned that you went inside a jail in Virginia. So what did you learn there among, everyone there that you met?
That was an unbelievable experience, because we have these conceptions of who's in jail.
Definitely.
And I'm like guarding my stuff, and then we'd go in and they just put all my camera equipment just right there with everybody. And then these people, big, strong men, are like so soft on the inside. I told them why I'm making this movie, and they were giving me advice and support and saying, hey, she'll come around, you've got this. And they were some of the kindest people that I've ever met. And then the people we interviewed just bared their souls in a way that helps everybody realize, there's real humans behind this pain and struggle of addiction. And it builds empathy with me, and I think it'll build empathy with the audiences who see the movie.
Definitely, and everyone's working for that same common goal. Like, you are not alone, and you can get through this, so that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I could tell you, so as I said, through my experience, I feel hopeless, guilty, ashamed, like, how could this be me? How could this be in our circle here?
Right.
And why didn't I do something about it, or why can't I do something about it? And so they've all felt that, and their families have all felt that. And so putting this in films and then taking this conversation out of the shadows and into crowded theaters is really healing for me. And I think it's healing for a lot of people who are going through the same thing.
Definitely. You just had your world premiere, which is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please tell us about what's coming up here May 6th in Seattle.
Yeah, so we're bringing it to the Admiral Theater in West Seattle May 6th, and it's not just a movie screening. We want a night of hope, a night of healing, and a night of community connection. So after the movie, people have an opportunity to share how it relates to their journey, and most importantly, see they're not alone. Like, when I tell people I made this movie, everybody's like, why would a professor make a movie about addiction? And then I tell them, and they all tell their story.
Exactly.
Like, so many people have the same story. And to see a crowd of people like we did at the premiere, and we're gonna see again in Seattle, it just makes you feel connected and makes you feel like there's hope that you can do this.
Definitely. It's like you don't want to be a part of the club, but sadly a lot of people are. And then it's all about, who you can meet and that support system.
Yeah.
What do you want the takeaway to be, for someone that goes in and sees this film and walks out? What do you want that to be?
Gosh, there's so many takeaways on all the levels. People grab different lines from the movie that really strike them. But for me, it's just recovery is possible. It could feel so desperate and so hopeless, either going through it or seeing somebody go through it. To just know that recovery is possible is one thing. To see recovery is possible and to see people go through it, and people from all different, from the wealthy family to the people in the jail, to go through it, I'm hoping it makes people realize they could go through it too, that they can come out on the other side, and that it's worth it. And you see the joy of the individuals in the film that they experience once they overcame their demons. It's a life people want, and we need to know that too. Like, the people who are suffering, it's easy to cast them aside because they do some terrible things sometimes.
Yeah, they can.
Because of the addiction. But to build that empathy and know that they're struggling too, it's worse for them. There's a line, sorry to get too verbose, but there's a line in the movie, if you think it's hard to watch, imagine how hard it is to live.
Gosh, so powerful. You're gonna make me cry. Perfect. We better end there. Thank you so much. And What It Takes premieres in Seattle this Wednesday, May 6th at the Admiral Theater. Tickets are available online.